All right. So we have to have an engagement letter. Everyone should have them. You probably have you might have different clauses or different versions, or sometimes I imagine, depending on what you do, but you need to have that. That's like basic. Everyone should do that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Number one, you got to have that in place. So another thing we look at is insurance. You want insurance in place. Obviously, malpractice insurance, not every state requires it. Georgia does not, for example. I know some attorneys out there that they purposely say, I am not getting insurance, because they feel like if they have it, it's a target for attorneys to come after them. That is not my opinion. I would rather have coverage than not. And then if you have an office, if you have employees, there's more insurance you're going to end up stacking on top of that. So, we would do an insurance review, make sure we think you're adequately covered. Nowadays you got cyber, you got all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
I like personally being overinsured, like, I don't know, but even having a personal umbrella, do you even go to that level of detail? Like, that's an extra layer?
That's really more of I do have some law firms that have excess coverage for their law firm, but absolutely everybody I talk to, lawyer or not, I tell them you need to think about umbrella. I'm overinsured. I mean, I got too much insurance.
Me too. My insurance salesman sends me very nice holiday gifts, and I know why.
Yeah. You should get that vacation down to Mexico, right?
Oh yeah, I need to. Okay. All right. So we got engagement letter, we got insurance. Well, then what's next?
You want to make sure your conflict process is in place. And there's
ideally using software, not paper.
That would be part of it for sure. So depends on how many people are in your firm. But obviously you run a conflict check through your software. Now, garbage in, garbage out. So for all your matters, you got to really make sure you've input in all the parties, all the related parties, all the owners, that kind of thing, depending on what kind of practice you have. So certainly do that first. But then, you got to send emails, I think, to all the attorneys. Make sure. Like my practice, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. I do a lot of law firm breakups, and I'm known for that here in Atlanta. And it is pretty common that both sides of the V will call me. And so depending on who calls me first, then all of a sudden I'm conflicted out of the second. And as we grow, we need to make sure if they call somebody else in the office, so that's sort of an emergency email that needs to go out. It's not going to be in the system yet. So that's really important, because let's take it down the line. You represent, or you think you represent one side of it, and then your partner down the hall thinks they represent the other side, then you can't represent either of them at that point.
Right. And is it whoever calls you first?
Generally, that's how I've done it.
I'm like, I kind of want to ask you. You can tell me you don't want, but I'm like, do you ever get the one you're like, I wish you'd called me second. I wanted the other one.
Well, I guess I could not answer the phone and see if they leave a message. I guess I could do that. But yeah, once you talk to them, you're done. You can't, right?
Yeah. So then you're like, oh, okay, guess I got you. Hope I got the good one.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a variety of other smaller things we would do to, when I say protect from the client, but really it's the engagement letter, conflict process, and insurance is what I would focus on as to clients. And then we can move on to some of the others if you like.
Yeah, let's do it.